Tonight, a blame game over who's accountable for that hash mark mess in the August primary. The mess could put thousands of votes at risk in the Detroit mayoral race. Our team coverage tonight includes Ronnie Dahl, who's going to be talking about who's accountable for this controversy. We're going to begin, though, with Jim Kirchner. The city clerk yesterday, Jim, was really taking the heat for this thing. Now, what's the clerk saying today about it?
Stephen, there's a dispute over the process from the top to the bottom in this. There's even a dispute over the law. Let me show you how this controversy started. This is a tally sheet, and everybody knew there could potentially be tens of thousands of write-in votes with Mike Duggan in the mayoral election. Here's how they were supposed to do it. All the different name variations that they found in the ballots, they were supposed to use hash marks like these to count and then put their tabulation over here in the final column. Now, the problem became when there was a dispute and discrepancies over this with the Wayne County Board of Canvassers. They were told by the Wayne County corporate attorney they could not look at the actual ballots.
It's an audit of the paper trail. The board looks at the statement of votes and the poll books. The board does not have the advantage of the ballots, and that is by state law.
According to the state elections director, that was just wrong legal advice. And next week, the State Board of Canvassers will come to Detroit, look at the ballots, and tally as many as 18,000 that are in question.
Any error of an election official should never disenfranchise the voters.
City Clerk Janice Winfrey, during a news conference, says she was not told of any problems with the county or canvassers certifying the election until the last minute yesterday. It is her election workers who started the controversy.
The tally marks or the hash marks are not one required by law, but we do suggest that our poll workers use them as a placeholder, if you will, so that they don't lose count.
At a late afternoon news conference, the county clerk says she welcomes the state coming in.
At this time, I feel to assure everybody that this was a fair election. I welcome the state to review all 614 precincts for all the write-in candidates so that no one voter is invalidated.
The state will now sort it all out.
So I don't fault Wayne County for questioning that. On the other hand, I don't see this as a major election failure by any means. I think this should have been brought to Wayne County's attention, the board's attention, earlier.
Now, the state elections director wants everybody to understand this is not an investigation. It is not a recount, but it could be a tabulation of 18,000 write-in votes that are in question right now. It is in the hands of the State Board of Canvassers, and this is not over. I'm being told a lawsuit could be filed as early as tomorrow. Is anyone surprised? We're live downtown. Jim Kirchner, 7 Action News.
Wow, Jim, sounds like not over by a long shot. Okay, thanks for the live report. So who is accountable for the ballot mess, and who's in charge of making sure that every vote cast in the August primary counts? Well, tonight we are taking action to get those answers for you. Our live team coverage, continues now with 7 Action News reporter Ronnie Dahl. And what have you been able to find out, Ronnie?
Well, late this afternoon, as Jim mentioned, Wayne County's clerk, Kathy Garrett, held a press conference, and she says the discrepancy in those numbers isn't necessarily about the hashtags versus the numbers, rather about those numbers, how they were recorded. She says members of her staff simply weren't clear who those votes belonged to.
So you're telling me that because precinct workers didn't write down hash marks, we're not going to count the votes?
It's become a battle of the hash marks versus numbers, with close to 20,000 votes hanging in the balance. And it was apparent the issue seemed to throw the 4 members of the Wayne County Board of Canvassers off guard yesterday. It was Wayne County's corporate counsel, Jana Anderson Davis, that raised the issue.
We are here to protect the integrity of all elections.
With the clock ticking, the Wayne County Board of Canvassers passed the certification process off to the state. And late today, Wayne County Clerk Kathy Garrett and members of her staff denied waiting until the last minute to raise the issue with the 4-member board, stating the numbers were still being counted up until the last minute.
The staff was given instructions by the Board of Canvassers, which consists of 4 members, and those members are independent of the Wayne County Clerk's office. During the canvass, I have no authority with staff or anyone else. The board has the authority. At this time, I feel to assure everybody that this was a fair election. I welcome the state to review all 614 precincts for all the write-in candidates so that no one voter is invalidated.
And so Kathy Garrett is trying to say that the Board of Canvassers were in on the issue of the hashtag versus the numbers early on, but I can tell you, speaking with some people, they said they were completely caught off guard, and you could see that on their faces in that meeting yesterday. This, of course, being Detroit politics, of course, that issue came up, and we did pose it to Kathy Garrett. She's been public in her support of Benny Napoleon. I asked her if that had anything to do with this, waiting until the last minute. She said absolutely not, and that she wants to maintain the integrity of her office. For now, we are live in downtown Detroit. Ronnie Dahl, 7 Action News.
All right, Ronnie, good to hear she cleared that up. Thank you.